All right, so I'll intro it. We'll get it set. All right, welcome everyone to another edition of the Fantasy League of Ordinary Gentlemen. What's going on? Tonight is going to be two of us. We have two pods for the week. It's going to be the NFC West for tonight, and then we got the NFC South. We're going to have everybody here, but tonight is just going to be me and Dan for the NFC West, man. What's going on?
What's up, Gary?
Not much, man. It's been a while, dude. It's been a few weeks since you well, you were on a little while ago, but since you've been on a full podcast, dude.
I know, it feels good.
Feels
Finally
good. Shit.
Pod with y'all.
Yeah, dude. Tonight will be me and you, and then a little bit later we're going to have a few of the other guys jump on for the NFC South, which is going to be a lot of fun. And, dude, The season is right around the corner. We just got a few more days, man. We're ready to roll.
It's next week, right?
Yeah, next Thursday, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, one full week. You got any more drafts you got to do?
We're talking about with Rodrigo,
Mm-hmm.
our home league. We'll see if it's actually going to happen, but we'll see.
Kind of up in the air still.
Yeah, I hope it does.
Shit, I did an auction draft for Trey's league a couple nights ago, dude. That was kind of interesting too.
Yeah.
My running backs aren't too stout, but shit, I got like Calvin Ridley, DJ Moore, who else? Kenny Galladay, and Amari Cooper. It's crazy, but I'll take that. But shit, dude, how about let's jump into this because it just happened a couple days ago. The Jaguars, they let go of Leonard Fournette, and it was kind of questionable where he might have landed with him. Could have been the Rams. I know he was interested with Jalen Ramsey over there. Patriots, Chicago, possibly with David Montgomery going down. Dude, I even heard the Jets could possibly look at him too, but that's comical in its own way with Adam Gase. But of course, dude, where'd he go? None other than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. So, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't know what you want to think about it right now. I'm still my head's still trying to figure out what to do with him right now.
I know.
The last week.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that more in depth in the next podcast for sure. But what I was thinking was I don't know if I'm going to draft Leonard Fournette or who is it? Yeah, Ronald Jones until later in the draft, in a redraft, like 7 or 8. You know?
Yeah, I can't take them wherever they're going right.
Nah, it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah,
but who knows? But onward, dude. Let's do it. Let's jump into it, man. NFC West. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. So first, let's start with the Arizona Cardinals, man. So, of course, we all know the trade. DeAndre Hopkins is now in town, and they traded David Johnson in return for that. A couple picks were dispersed as well, but we had that happen. That's kind of like the only big name that I've seen that's kind of left the team. Any others that you think of?
I think that's all I saw for me.
Yeah. Well, their 2020 draft picks, we can get in that. They got Isaiah Simmons, which is a great IDP player coming out of Clemson. He was the number 8 overall pick.
For sure.
Yeah, and in round 3, they took a dude named Josh Jones from Houston, offensive tackle. And it looks to me, dude, that he's gonna be the starting right tackle. So a 3rd rounder starting on the line is gonna be interesting. And then we have Eno Benjamin, dude, 7th round, coming out of Arizona State.
Staying put in Arizona.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting because you know who else came out of Arizona State? Kalen Ballage.
No. Kalen Ballage.
And we all know how that story went. Yeah, so it's an interesting team. They made a hell of a lot of plays, or not plays, but like acquisitions on the off season. So this is going to be kind of interesting. They were 21st in total offense last year. Their passing attempts were like 18th passing yards 24th. So with DeAndre Hopkins kind of in the mold now, you think that they can step it up a little bit more?
I think so. I think they're gonna have to do more 4 wide receiver sets this year.
Mm-hmm. Well, shit. Since you said that, dude, let's jump into this. So they got DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Kirk, Larry Fitz, and it looks to me, dude, like they're trying to get Andy Isabella involved much more than they did last year.
Yep, that's what I'm seeing too.
Mm-hmm. I did see that Hakeem Butler's probably he's a potential cut, possibly. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah. so Morgan might not like that, but
yeah,
we'll see. Not. Who knows? He can always get picked up somewhere else. And then they also got Keyshawn Johnson, Trent Sherfield. So a lot of wide receivers, which is what you're going to see from Cliff Kingsbury and their his offense. So.
And I think some of the running backs are going to be able to be pass catchers too, so they're going to be throwing a lot this year too, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when Kenyon Drake came involved, I think it was like week 9 or 10. He had at least 3 games of 100 plus yards. So, I mean, he was definitely utilized the way they wanted him to. And your boy, Chase Edmonds, dude, what do you think about him? Do you think he's going to get a decent amount of playing time?
I think he's going to spell Drake for now, but he's definitely worth like a late round flyer. Yeah. You can get him pretty cheap. Mm-hmm. And Ken Drake was seen in a walking boot a couple weeks ago, or like last week, I think.
That put a lot of people on edge.
Yeah. And we saw Edmonds get that opportunity. Like I think it was just 1 game, but then he got injured after that. But he had like 3 touchdowns and 100 yards, like rushing.
I think it was like week 7. I think it was against the Giants or something like that. And he put like 3 touchdowns, well over 100 yards. So, I mean, Chase Edmonds could be the guy if Kenyon Drake were to go down at some point in this season. So I'd say he's definitely worth a late round flyer for sure. So, and then of course we got Benjamin, like we said, he's a 7th rounder, but I mean he's pretty much there for the 3rd string, kind of the same size as Chase Edmonds too. So
and you can see him. He was like the 3 down back at Arizona State last year. Mm-hmm. He can handle pass catching. He can handle rushes too. So,
which is definitely necessary for this offense too.
Yep.
So let's go to Kyler Murray, dude. I'm gonna put this up. So I know he's pretty much drafted as anywhere between the 3rd to 5th quarterback. What's your thoughts on that? Do you like to go early for QB, or do you like to kind of wait it off?
I do not like to go early for a quarterback, but he's been falling. If he falls in like the 8th round, I'll probably take him there.
Right. Because right now I'm looking at Fantasy Pros, dude. They got Patrick Mahomes first, of course, Lamar Jackson right after him, then Dak Prescott. And then you got Russell and then Kyler. If you had to choose, would you rather have Kyler this year or Deshaun Watson?
It depends on which one's going later. So I'd rather just have which one's going later, probably.
Right. Kind of to me too. I mean, what I've been kind of doing is waiting, maybe going Matt Stafford, possibly Carson Wentz if he falls pretty well. I mean, you even got Cam Newton. You want to take a flyer on him. I mean, he always gives that rushing ability for extra points. So that's always a good one. So, all right. Tight ends. You got Dan Arnold, who kind of flashed in week 17 last year. And then you got Max Williams, who's kind of more of a blocking tight end.
Yep.
For this team in a redraft league, not really interested in the tight end scenario. Unless it's like a deep dynasty, I probably wouldn't touch either of them.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe Arnold because he catches the ball. But I would not touch Max Williams at all.
Yeah, I do know Dan Arnold. He came from New Orleans. He was there for a couple of years, kind of flashed a little bit here and there. And then, I mean, just like we said with the Arizona Cardinals, man, they're going to be pass heavy. It just depends on who it's going to be. And it's not really anybody that's kind of like a blocking tight end. So, and Dan Arnold isn't pretty much like that. He's more pass catching for sure. So all in all, who are you fading on this team? Who would you say?
I'm probably fading DeAndre Hopkins right now.
Yeah. He's kind of fallen, dude, to like the mid-second round.
Yeah. It's uncertain like how he's gonna get he's not gonna get all the targets that he got in Houston. Mm-hmm. He's not gonna have the same kind of like market share as over there. Because I feel like I was gonna spread the ball out a little bit more than Deshaun was. Mm-hmm. Even though he is such like I love DeAndre. I think he's an awesome wide receiver, but I just don't see him getting like 10 targets a game.
Yeah. It's because he would get like shit, dude, anywhere between 10, 12, 15, almost 20 targets sometimes in some games. And I mean, he's pretty much fallen behind somebody like Chris Godwin and Kenny Galladay. I would take him before Mike Evans. I'm not really a big Mike Evans fan this year. Would you take him or AJ Brown? DeAndre.
I'll take DeAndre still. Yeah. And I think Godwin's been kind of banged up this training camp.
Yep, that's a good call.
I actually am higher on Mike Evans, and I'd probably take Evans over Hopkins this year.
Okay. Interesting.
But I know that's going to be debatable.
Well, yeah, let's go with it, dude. Like, so there's so many weapons with Tampa Bay too that, I mean, between them and Arizona, I mean, targets can go just about anywhere. So you feel a little bit more like keyed in to like the Tampa Bay offense with Mike Evans?
Yeah.
More so than DeAndre in Arizona?
I do. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out because, like, for both offenses, we haven't seen Tom Brady to Mike Evans connection, and we haven't seen Kyler to DeAndre before. So It's definitely going to be fun to watch both those offenses for sure.
Yeah. I mean, this is definitely one of the big offenses, dude, that I cannot wait to watch. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But so far, they were 21st in total offense. Do you think they can at least be middle of the pack coming this season?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do, especially if Kyler stays healthy. Like, I don't know if he has any injury history or anything. But, yeah. Like, I don't trust his backup Hundley at all. But, yeah, like, I think they're going to progress more this year than they did last year.
Well, yeah, I guess maybe if we take into account, too, like David Johnson, when he was there at the beginning of the season in 2019, dude, he didn't do anything. Which, of course, I mean, that definitely is detrimental to the rushing game. And then when Kenyon Drake came in, they definitely flashed, man. They definitely gave San Fran, like, a run for the money because they played them twice late in the season.
True.
So with him there and DeAndre too, I can see him at least close to top 10, maybe just outside of it for sure.
Yeah, I could see that too.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Who are you most targeting on this team, would you say?
I'm probably like looking at Kyler, to be honest.
Yeah.
If he falls like to the 8th round, like you can get like you can get running backs and wide receivers, just stack up on those in the first couple rounds, and then I usually go if he's there, like I definitely want that because I think he could potentially be the quarterback 1 overall. Like I could see it for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go with Kenyon Drake. Like I'm thinking, dude, like I usually kind of take him like early 2nd round if I'm in that area. Mm-hmm. So looking at him real quick, dude, he's actually top 13. So he's 13th according to Fantasy Pros. Would you rather have Kenyon Drake or Aaron Jones this year?
I'd probably take Kenyon Drake.
Okay. How about Austin Eckler?
I think I'd go Eckler, actually.
Okay. Let me ask you this one, because, I mean, you weren't I don't know if you were in the AFC North pod we had, but Nick Chubb, are you fading him a lot?
Yeah, I think so, because Kareem Hunt's going to play the full season this year, not coming like week 10 or whatever it was last year.
Yeah, so would you rather have Kenyon Drake or Nick Chubb there?
Damn, I guess I'd take Drake.
Yeah, I mean, to me, he's kind of streams a little bit more PPR value, you know. That's
Yeah,
why I kind of like that.
for sure.
Mm-hmm. I know you still got. You probably take Kenyon Drake over Miles Sanders, right?
No. How about you? How about you? What do you feel? Aaron Jones or Kenyon Drake?
Definitely Drake. I have Drake over Aaron Jones, Eckler. I'll have him over Chubb.
How about Josh Jacobs?
I'd have Josh Jacobs just a hair in front of like Kenyon Drake. But at first, I kind of like Jacobs over Sanders, but I think I'm still gonna have Sanders over him. I'd rather have Sanders than Clyde Edwards-Helaire, that's for sure. Because to me, I've heard a little bit of news. It looks like they're going to start with Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Darrell Williams to start to share. Yeah, so that's going to be kind of interesting, dude. So, you got anything else for this team?
No, I think we covered it.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, let's kick it on over to the Los Angeles Rams. Dude, they kind of fell off, man, ever since they had that Super Bowl hangover for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Sean McVay, can he turn it around? Let's see. Their total offense, I'll give this to them, dude. They were 7th in total offense. This whole division, other than the Cardinals, their total offense was like top 10 for sure.
Wow.
6th in the red zone, which is always good. Let's go with they lost Brandon Cooks that went to Houston. Lost Todd Gurley, and it's crazy, dude, to see that like Gurley was pretty much 75% of the snap share when he was with them within these past 3 years. So losing him, he goes to Atlanta. We're kind of like maybe possibly in a committee for running back. I mean, we got Cam Akers, Darrell Henderson, Malcolm Brown, maybe even see a little bit of glimpses of John Kelly. So what's your thoughts there?
I think that it's going to be Akers this year. Yeah. I think sometime he's going to emerge. I don't know when, and it sounds like he's having a really good camp too.
Yeah, like you think he's going to have immediate impact?
I do. Do you have like the offensive line? Do they have any additions on offensive line or anything?
No, I think they're still kind of the same as they were last year.
Yeah, they didn't have draft picks again this year, I think.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. The draft picks that they had a couple in round 2, like Cam Akers, obviously we brought up from Florida State, and Van Jefferson 5 picks later from Florida, wide receiver, and also Bryce Hopkins in the 4th round from Purdue, tight end.
Okay.
So, yeah, dude. I kind of think this is going to be like a 3-headed monster in ways. I mean, obviously, I think Cam Akers is going to have the majority of the share. But I don't know if Darrell Henderson is going to take a step back even further, although he didn't do jack shit last year.
Right.
Or and see maybe Malcolm Brown, the vet, you know? I mean, he's nothing to get excited about, but he gets the job done when they need it, you know? But I mean, I'm kind of with you. Cam Akers, majority of it. And if Darrell Henderson could somehow wrap his head out of his ass, and like, I mean, he is day to day too, with a small injury. So I don't know. It remains to be seen with his backfield.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting to watch it play out.
Mm-hmm. Wide receivers, dude. So Brandon Cooks, he left. So that's 72 targets from last year. Not typically his target share. But we got Cooper Kupp with like 134 targets. Robert Woods with 139. Josh Reynolds with just 43, but I think we're going to have an uptick of Josh Reynolds now that Brandon Cooks is gone.
Maybe.
Yeah. Is there any guy you're kind of fading wide receiver-wise, and who you like more?
I don't think I'm fading any of them. I like Woods a lot. And I like Cup a lot too, actually.
See, dude, I've never owned shares of Robert Woods, and then when I saw like his value and what he did last year, the amount of yards he had last year, it's almost identical to Cooper Kupp. They both had over 1,100 yards, but the difference was Cooper Kupp only had 10 touchdowns compared to Robert Woods, who just had 2. So I think we're going to see a total difference in Robert Woods' touchdowns this year too.
Be nice.
Yeah, exactly.
I think one thing about Woods too that I like is he like gets a carry at least a game. I feel like, but you can turn that into some yardage, extra like 2 points or something for you.
Yep.
He has like a safe floor. I feel like.
Yeah, exactly. So even on Fantasy Pros here, dude, they have them both back to back. So Robert Woods at 17, Cooper Kupp at 18. They're right after, Odell, DJ Moore, Juju, Calvin Ridley. Is there any of those 4 I just named you'd rather have Robert Woods or Cooper Kupp over?
I don't think so. I think they're about right where I take them.
Well, how about Terry McLaurin?
Yeah, I'm cool with where they're going. I don't know. I could see Terry having a good year, but we'll see. I don't know about that Washington offense.
Yeah, it's kind of still suspect to me, dude, to tell you the truth. Dude, one I might put over those 2 is maybe DJ Chark in a way. Maybe. I think especially with the running game not there, I feel like they're going to have to pass a lot too, especially with how disgusting that defense is. They're going to have to catch up in some games, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's true. It's going to be a lot of garbage time.
Yep. Yeah. So Jared Goff, dude, he's kind of like just outside of the top 12 when it comes to the quarterback position. So are you fading him? Are you interested in him in drafts or not?
I'm interested in him. He's still like a good, like, if you're doing super flex, I think he's a good quarterback to have for that. Maybe so you get later round. You said 17 is where he's going. Yeah, it looks like he's going with Roethlisberger right before Baker and Tannehill. So, yeah, I'm comfortable with where he's going. I don't know if I'd fade him.
Yeah.
How about you?
I'd take him over Daniel Jones, somebody like that. Because if you think about it, New York, the Giants, the teams that they were playing have pretty damn good defenses within the first 5 to 6 games. And I don't think Daniel Jones is going to be – he's going to have some growing pains coming in this year. I think maybe at the end of this season he could probably flash and be, like, fantasy relevant. But I'm kind of fading him for sure. Like Goff, yeah, I mean, dude, he threw what? Over 600 passes last season. 4,600 yards. So we've seen what we've got out of Goff. There's definitely no rushing upside whatsoever. So we know the passing volume is going to be there. And especially with this backfield, which I'm kind of not drafting, I wouldn't be surprised if they're throwing a lot. Maybe even the same amount they did last year, dude.
Yeah, that would make more sense if they threw. Did we talk about Higbee a little bit?
Yeah, go ahead.
So he was having like a kind of quiet year up until there's the last 6 games. So he had 89 targets on the whole year, but in the last 6 games he had 62 targets, and he just became a tight end 1 like right at the end of the season within those last 6 games. And are you buying into that, or are you?
I mean, I would if Everett wasn't involved. If he was still hurt, or I mean, what was he out for the last remaining 5 to 6 games last year or something? But yeah, that's when Higbee he poured it on, dude. And anybody who had him, I'm pretty sure they were fucking happy to have him. What is he going, like top 6 or 7, Higbee right now? I could check.
He's like right in 6 or 7, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'd take him over Hunter Henry. Maybe even over Evan Ingram, to tell you the truth. But yeah, he's going at 8 right now in Fantasy Pros.
How about Everett? Where's he going?
He is down. He's all the way at 29.
Wow.
Yeah, which is surprising. I mean, I guess when they were both there, sharing 50% of the offense, like, yeah, they weren't viable. And I think we're going to see a lot of them do like 12 personnel, with 2 tight ends.
Yep.
So I'm probably going to fade them because we've seen what happened when they were together last year. But once either hit Everett or Higbee go down, dude, maybe that's when. I don't know.
Pick them up off the waiver wire or something.
Yeah. Because who knows, man? I mean, within the first 5 to 6 games of the season, if your tight end is not getting involved, you're going to stream somebody else, Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and then if one of them goes down mid-season, that's not a bad waiver plug. So, kind of interested to see what happens after this season because Bryson Hopkins, usually tight ends don't really evolve until like round or their second or third. And he had about 75 yards per game, so I'm going to keep an eye on him too for like deeper leagues.
Okay.
Yeah. Van Jefferson too, dude. He's somebody out. He's a wide receiver out of Florida. His dad played football, so he's got pretty good. Dude, his route running's great. I like watching him on tape. I don't think he's going to be fantasy relevant at all this year. So at most, he'll probably get 30 targets unless you see somebody like Robert Woods or Cooper Kupp goes down. So that's my thought on that.
I saw that he overtook Josh Reynolds as a wide receiver 3 also, like a couple days ago. So he's actually so.
Who's that?
Van Jefferson.
Uh-huh.
He already overtook Josh Reynolds as a wide receiver 3 on that team.
Really?
Yeah, Roto-World just reported it.
When did they report that? Not too long ago?
Yeah, I gotta find it for you.
Hey, dude, I mean, I'm all ears, dude. My ears are perking up. I thought you were.
No, that's boy.
I thought you were ribbing me there for a minute.
Nah.
Dude, while you're looking for that, what are you drinking on, man? I haven't even asked you yet.
I'm sipping on some water.
Saving it up for later on when we're getting wild.
Yeah. Maybe.
Dude, speaking of Van Jefferson, I pulled some bourbon from the ABC store, and it's called Jefferson's. Thomas Jefferson type bourbon or something. Never tried it. It was a little bit cheaper than Woodford. So I was like, all right, let's go tonight. A little bit of this, a little bit of Coca-Cola too.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I like some bourbon and some Coke.
Yeah. Figured I'd switch it up, dude, because beer just bogs me down, especially if we're going to have a long night tonight. Dude, that's for damn sure.
This is true. All right. It was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It says, I'll just read the report. It says Jefferson has been one of the standouts at Rams camp, and he appears to have passed Josh Reynolds on the depth chart behind Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp.
Jeez.
Before training camp is expected to be Reynolds replacing Brandon Cooks in 3 wide sets. The Rams had a ton of targets up for grabs.
Dude, let's fucking go. Especially if Goff is throwing for well over 600 passes. Dude, he's going to throw 650 because this backfield's suspect, dude. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in this backfield yet. I'm gonna put myself down for Goff's 650 attempts. And then I want to see at least 60 go. If that's right, if what you're saying is right, I want to see at least 60 to 70 to Van Jefferson, which would be good. He gains separation, dude, which is great. So he's not somebody like Cortland Sutton or somebody who takes a minute. He's just looking for jump balls and stuff like that. So I mean, it'll be fun to watch.
And Jefferson's playing against competition in the SEC, like Alabama and LSU.
Yeah, so he's got some rapport for sure.
Yeah. I just want to talk about Cam Akers real quick.
Dude, go for it.
He played behind one of the worst offensive lines, maybe the worst offensive line in college football, and he still produced. He's a pass catcher, and so his last season he had 231 rushes for 1,144 yards and 14 touchdowns. And then he also added like 30 catches for 225 yards and 4 touchdowns. So he can do it all. And it's like, so Todd Gurley, the year he was like RB1, he was playing behind a really good offensive line. And then we saw what happened last year when they lost a couple pieces in that line. It kind of like deteriorated. But I think Akers has the ability. He's already shown that he can play behind a bad offensive line, and this is a step up for him playing behind the Rams.
And not to mention, dude, like the fact that it is the Rams too, and their offensive line wasn't too great. So I did pull up offensive line rankings for Pro Football Focus. So I'm gonna go and see that they are ranked, 25th in the league, which, it's going to be an interesting season. Like, oh man, because I know we just saw the Cardinals ranked 21st, and like 2 years ago they were ranked the worst offensive line. So unless this offensive line can really gel, I mean, I'm with you. I mean, Cam Akers, he's not completely elusive, but he breaks tackles fairly easily. And he's kind of more of like a north-south runner, right? More than an east-west. So I think that's why they needed somebody like him, because I don't think Darrell Henderson was that guy capable of doing that. You know, Malcolm Brown is one of those, but he's not, I mean, as flashy as somebody, or have maybe fresher legs like Cam Akers. So I'm with you on. Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt. I think Henderson's just not a pass catcher really either. But Akers has proven that he's a pass catcher, and I think Gurley had 49 targets last year, and I don't know how many the year before that, but he was part of the passing game too, and I think that Cam could help out in the passing game, especially with losing Brandon Cooks.
Dude, Gurley was heavily involved in the passing game, and Goff's going to need to check it down at times. So, I mean, if what you're saying too, with Cam Akers being, fairly solid in the pass game, I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe he does. I mean, I think maybe at least within the first 2 to 3 games, if he makes a hell of a big difference than the rest of the group here at running back, then I guess you're right. He's going to break out for sure, and he's going to be the main guy. So that's interesting, dude. I'm glad you brought that up too. That's what's up. So, all right. Anything else here?
Are you fading anybody?
Mostly Darrell Henderson, but okay. I try to grab Robert Woods as much as I possibly can. So, and with the tight ends, with them both being healthy, I'm kind of fading them. I just won't target them. I'll get somebody like in a team's kind of like the Jets, you know, with Chris Herndon. I mean, he could probably be the second, second targeted receiver in that team. So anywhere there, especially for a late pick. Irv Smith, dude, I'm heavily on. Fucking love Irv Smith. And your boy, Jonnu Smith.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, man. I think he's going to break out this year.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Anybody else you want to go through here? Are you good?
I think I'm good. I think I'm just fading Higbee. But I think we talked about it.
Yeah. I mean, like we've been saying, as long as one of them is out for the season or something like that, gets injured, I won't be touching them. So cool. That's what's up. All right, dude. Let's head on over to the 49ers, who made it to the Super Bowl. Obviously, didn't win. They had the lead, of course. But, of course, that's why Patrick Mahomes is paid the big money and is now got after this year, a 10-year extension. So, I mean, here we go. The 49ers, all right. let's see. They lost Emmanuel Sanders, who was probably their best wide receiver. I mean, we saw glimpses of Deebo Samuel coming about, but I feel like they needed that vet that can mentor the whole team. Yeah. And they let him go. He went to the Saints, of course. Matt Breida, who ended up being traded during the NFL draft to the Dolphins. So now we got their 2020 draft picks. So they have Javon Kinlaw, which I think is going to be a hell of a defensive tackle. First team All-American, who was picked number 14 overall. And then Brandon Ayuk, number 25 overall pick in round 1. Wide receiver out of Arizona State, like Benjamin. Round 6, we'll go a little bit further. Charlie Warner, tight end. And round 7, Jayuan Jennings, who's kind of a bigger wide receiver. Not really good at separation, but I think the reason why I saw a little video of Shanahan when he, how they had to do the Zoom meetings when they drafted the players. He picked him because he likes his physicality. So, I mean, maybe he's good for like wide receiver screens for like somebody like maybe Brandon Ayuk or something like that. But I just don't see him getting too much playing time, especially being a 7th rounder. But God knows with this team and how many wide receivers are trying to take a chance on. So, well, I mean, I guess we can just pull in with the injuries, Deebo Samuel, and the buzz with Jalen Hurd, dude, before he got injured. Yep, kind of sucked. Dude, let's just name these wide receivers. You tell me if you're gonna take a chance on any of these guys. Ready? All right. Well, Tavon Austin, I guess we can say too. He's on IR. Okay, so Deebo Samuel, we've already talked about. Brandon Ayuk, Kendrick Bourne, who's reliable. He's not really highly athletic, but he's a reliable target. He knows where to be. Dante Pettis, who was great late in the 2018 season, had a bad training camp in 2019, and he's kind of looking to gain Shanahan's trust, so we'll see how that goes. He needs to be more physical. Trent Taylor, a smaller slot guy, and Jayuan Jennings, just like I said, his physicality is what kind of got Shanahan interested. Also, Richie James, J.J. Nelson. Any of those guys interest you, dude?
I mean, not really, but if opportunity presents itself, I guess like Kendrick Bourne. Mm-hmm. Maybe. How about you?
Kendrick Bourne, like, he had 44 targets last year, but I mean, that's while having Deebo there and Emmanuel Sanders. So if it's somebody that Jimmy G relies on, I can see him at least being a small flex play here and there if need be. I'm not targeting him, but I mean, there's a good chance he's going to be taken from the waiver wire at times. That's for sure.
I know Shane will say Trent Taylor, too.
Yeah, he loves it. He might have dropped him like, I don't know, 5 or 6 times within the whole off season, but yeah, he definitely loves him some Trent Taylor.
Didn't he play with Josh Allen in college? That's probably why.
Probably. All those overthrows to him.
Yeah.
I traded for Dante Pettis in 2 leagues last year. I still have hope that he can turn it around. If not, I'm sure he's going to be on the cut list, which will be interesting this coming Saturday with every team cutting their rosters to 53. Just Brandon Ayuk. I mean, I would maybe take a flyer on late in the season, but dude, he's already got a hamstring strain. In college, he did average 9.9 yards after the catch, so that's always good. He's kind of like Deebo Samuel. So, yeah,
I would love to see Deebo just get a full year in though. He's fun to watch.
Well, yeah, there's speculation as to whether he'll start. So he did break his foot, which, I mean, I remember when Christian Kirk did that, about 2 years ago? He needed the whole offseason to recuperate, and he still wasn't the same last season. So I think they need to put him on the pup for sure, and just maybe wait him out till midseason, in hopes that they're going to be somewhat viable. Yeah, let's go to Jimmy G, dude. Wasn't really fantasy relevant at all last year, but for some reason this offense was somehow like fourth in the league. So
that's that running game.
Yeah, exactly. Because their passing attempts, dude, they were like 29th in the league, which was disgusting. I think I jotted down too that only Lamar and the Tannehill Mariota combination did shorter passing attempts than Garoppolo. So that's kind of wild. You got to give it to the red zone too. They were second when it comes to the red zone.
That's good. Yeah, man, they have some good blockers on the team. Like the offensive line is stacked, and then they got Kyle Juszczyk, the fullback, and Rich Kittle, just absolute monsters on the run game.
Yep.
So do you want to talk about the run game?
Yeah, go ahead. You throw it out.
Oh, I'm trying to avoid like everyone in this.
Dude, you're telling me you don't want Jerick McKinnon, bro?
It's maybe late. He's going later than the rest of them, so maybe I'll take him. But I don't know. I just can't touch Mostert or Coleman right now. And then that rookie that they picked up, Jermichael Hasty.
Yep.
Too. He's interesting. Take a look at. So I don't know. What's your thoughts on the running backs?
Kind of like you were saying. I mean, last year, I know there was times where I was uncertain how the team was going to be, so I'll pick up Tevin Coleman and Matt Breida at the same time. And none of that worked out for me in my favor. So it's probably one of the reasons why it was last place in one league. I mean, Mostert, he shows promise. I mean, he was relevant like week 12 on. Like once he was like, I think it was like Green Bay he faced. Scored a touchdown in pretty much every game at the end of the season. What was it, 137 touches for 770 yards, 8 touchdowns, 5.64 yards a carry, which is great if you look at Tevin Coleman, who had the same exact carries, 137 too, but he only had 544 yards. So that's 200 less than Raheem Mostert in the same amount of carries. 3.97 yards per carry. So, I mean, just the problem with Mostert, of course you see it in drafts that he's like later, like maybe 7th, 8th round. But the reason being is, I mean, he gives you no PPR value. Like you're kind of looking at like a part-time Derrick Henry right now, you know?
Yep.
So that's kind of my thoughts on there. If we go to Jerick McKinnon, dude, like when he was with, was it the Vikings, his last 2 years there, he was targeted 68 times and 53 times. So that's not bad for, I mean, maybe a flex play, but I kind of want to see it before I believe it. That kind of deal, you know?
Right.
So like you said, I'm probably going to just avoid this backfield, let somebody else draft him, unless I'm really capable of getting them late and hopefully getting them as maybe a flex play, maybe even a bench spot, you know, see what shakes out with this team.
Are you taking okay, sorry, go ahead.
You're good. Go ahead.
Do you have like the ADP for him on the Fancy Bros?
Yeah.
Like, we'll talk about tight ends in a second too. I gotta get your
absolutely
Kittle versus Kelsey.
So Mostert is going at 24th overall for the running back position.
Okay. How are you comfortable taking him there, or?
So we're looking at Fournette now. It's not a Fournette's dropped. He's right after Fournette, right before David Montgomery. And you got Cam Akers, who we just talked about, right after David Montgomery. I'd probably take a flyer on Cam Akers before I did Raheem Mostert. because there's probably plenty of upside. And he's in a better backfield where you know he could probably be the lead back for sure throughout the whole season. You know,
Mostert or Kareem Hunt?
I'm probably gonna go Kareem Hunt, dude. How about you?
I think I go Mostert, but if it was just in a situation in the draft where it was those two were the best available at the time, I'd probably go Mostert.
Yeah.
Maybe PPR I'd go Kareem Hunt. I guess it'd have to depend.
Yeah, if we're doing just straight standard, I would definitely go Raheem Mostert. But PPR, I mean, I'd go with Kareem Hunt, but I would make sure he's my flex at best or bench spot. I don't know about you, but one thing I've pretty much done throughout this whole season for drafts is maybe go running back. Because if you see that whole tier of wide receiver, one from Thielen, Juju, Amari, who was it, Calvin Ridley, DJ Moore, AJ Brown, all those guys, like you can scoop two of those guys up after you go running back. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and then maybe take a flyer on somebody like J.K. Dobbins, Kareem Hunt, later on, Cam Akers, like you were saying. Because then when you get down to this like 35 tier, like after Matt Breida, everything's really disgusting to me. Like Ronald Jones, Tevin Coleman, Kerryon, James White, Zach Moss, I would take a flyer on. Latavius Murray, I mean, possibly.
I would definitely take a flyer on Latavius right now.
Yeah, with everything going on, yeah. But like, there's like some like I'm just like, all right, that's gross. So you kind of want to like get somewhat of an idea of tiers in some ways for your drafts. But
I hear you.
Yeah. But yeah, Raheem Mostert, unless, like I said, flex at best, but mainly I'd rather have him as a bench spot. So, yeah. You wanted to talk tight ends?
Yeah. All right. So Kittle's obviously the tight end there, and he just got a big contract extension over the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, it's been going like Kelsey and Kittle as a 1 and 2 basically for the last 1 or 2 years.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and this year it's the same. So would you take Kittle or Kelsey? Because we talked about. Okay, never mind. I'll say it for my argument.
You got to pick them both in the second round. I've avoided both of them. You're pretty much second and maybe early third for both of them. And if I had to do it, I'd probably take Kelsey because the offense and like, I don't know, dude. I think San Fran's going to take a step back this year. I love Kittle, dude. And he's a fucking hunk of a man for sure. He's a stud, but he could probably get double covered because he's the only reliable target right now. So you could get triple covered for all we know. Because who else are they going to pass to?
Exactly. That's my argument right now. Is like, who are they going to pass it to?
Yeah.
Because they need someone to step up with Debo going down, and they lost Sanders. So yeah. I think Kittle's going to have plenty of opportunity this year.
Mm-hmm.
And
go ahead.
I think that I would take him over Kelsey.
Okay.
I do probably like.
So you're saying because like there's nobody else to be targeted for that team, you just think it's all going to go to Kittle for the most part?
Yeah, like we were talking about with Herndon, he's going to be like the go-to guy. I said he's like a way more expensive Herndon.
Yeah, that's for sure. I agree to that. I dig it. It's just I might want to go with the bigger offense because we know Kansas City can be a top 3 offense. Whereas these guys, when it comes to the passing, we saw they were 29th last year, and just Jimmy G. Unless he turns out to be Matt Ryan, like when Kyle Shanahan was there, I'm not really relying on that. So it remains to be seen. I want Kittle to be number 1 tight end for sure, but for safety reasons, I'll just do Kelsey just for this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we talk about Jordan Reed at all?
We haven't.
Do you even want to bother talking about him?
Well, he's looking good in camp, dude. Shit, dude, he can be the number two number two target for the team if they do 12 personnel. So who knows, man? Just just kick all these wide receivers to the curb and just do goal line the whole way. Get Kyle Juszczyk out there on the opposite end.
You're gonna have to do 3 running back sets.
Yeah, exactly. So
no wide receivers.
Yeah. Part of me thinks we're going to probably see that at least a couple times with the 49ers, so that would be interesting. Yeah, Jimmy G, are you touching him at all? You didn't, it sounded right, but like you going to scoop him up?
I think probably not. Is he going like 20, what?
23rd. I'm fading him like crazy.
Yeah. I'd rather have Phillip Rivers. I think I'd rather have Drew Lock.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather have Teddy Bridgewater over him.
Dude, I think Teddy can be a really good sleeper.
Yeah, I think so too.
Mm-hmm.
He's got some weapons with him.
Yeah, absolutely. Although I heard Curtis Samuel ain't doing too hot right now.
I saw that. I'll wait to see it during the games.
Yep. Yeah, anything else?
I think we've covered pretty much all I want. Just fact checking. Trent Taylor did not play with Josh Allen. It was a guy named Tanner Gentry.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think the 49ers would have picked him up if he played with Josh Allen because he probably would have too many passes, like underthrown, overthrown.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. thrown behind him and shit like that. So it's probably good that he didn't play with Josh Allen. Oh, shit. All right, dude. Cool. Onward. Let's go with the Seattle Seahawks now, man. Our last one. 8th in total offense. I mean, we had Russell Wilson. I mean, of course, Tyler Lockett, and especially having the acquisition of DK Metcalf last year is a big acquisition. I don't know if they really lost anybody. All I can think of is Rashad Penny just for on the PUP list, but other than that.
Yeah, he's expected to miss the first 6 weeks, I think, at least. Jadeveon Clowney, I guess, on defense.
That's a good
he's up in the air still. But they did gain Jamal Adams on defense too. So
dude, that's stellar there.
That's a huge add.
Yeah.
Defense.
Was it 2 firsts for him, right?
I think so.
Like a 2021 and 22, I think.
Yeah, but that dude is a baller, dude.
He's worth it. Yeah, he's definitely worth it, and I'm sure he's ecstatic. So, going to 2020 draft picks. For the offensive side, we got Damian Lewis, guard out of LSU in the 3rd round. He's going to be backing up Phil Haynes at right guard for right now. Colby Parkinson, tight end out of Stanford, in round 4. DJ Dallas, which is a name that I'm kind of interested in seeing, man. Running back out of Miami. Saw some good things out of him with camp. And we got 2 wide receivers, Freddie Swain and Steven Sullivan, one in the 6th round and the other in the 7th round. So they're going to be like more so guys who are going to have to, probably get pushed to the practice squad or something like that. But
just bodies in camp.
Exactly. Yeah. How about let's go with Danger Russ, man. I mean, passing attempts, dude, 23rd, but still 8th in offense, red zone, 3rd in the season. Of course, it's their rushing attempts, which were 3rd, and rushing yards were 4th in the season or in the league. So, yeah, Russ, dude, 31 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, dude. Can't get any more baller than that right now.
Unless you're Lamar Jackson.
Well, unless you are Lamar. That's why you're 1 step behind Lamar right now, Russ.
He probably would have the MVP if Lamar didn't play last year.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Also, I mean, he threw well over 4,000 yards. 516 attempts. He doesn't really throw that much. It'll be interesting, I think, if we see Chris Carson, if he's going to be able to play a full season. Looks like he's good to go coming week 1. So that and the emergence of DK Metcalf, see how his sophomore year is going to be. And we already know Tyler Lockett he's keyed in. He's if healthy, he's going to be well over 1,000 yards for sure. My question. Go ahead.
Sorry, him and Russell have that connection.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but they're just always locked into each other.
Yeah. So my question to you is, do you think DK Metcalf surpasses Tyler Lockett this year?
I could see it. I could also not see it. We saw in the playoff game that Metcalf went off. I feel like I don't know his exact stat line, but it's some ridiculous. But yeah, I could definitely see him being the wide receiver 1 there. But Lockett had 110 targets last year, and Metcalf had 100. So I think Metcalf can definitely improve on that number.
He's gonna have to, dude. I mean, if you think about it, 100 targets, 58 caught, so 58% catch rate. Whereas Lockett caught 82 of his 110. He's more efficient with his targets. I know Metcalf had some drops. It's just going to be interesting to see if he takes that next step. I mean, if he's been working on his pass catching throughout the offseason and whatnot. I mean, we already know his physicality. We already know his long speed. I mean, he wasn't great at most route running. Maybe his route tree was like 4 different routes in comparison to somebody who could have, 12? So that's just going to be interesting. I kind of steer away from Metcalf until I actually see a lot of consistency throughout him. If I had to choose, it would be Tyler Lockett because he gains that much separation. A few keynotes with wide receivers. So they have Philip Dorsett. He came from New England. So this is what was kind of funny to me, what I heard through the grapevine. So the coaches say that Philip Dorsett is the fastest wide receiver they've ever had with the team.
Yeah, I saw that.
What the hell does that say to DK Metcalf, dude? To me, that's the first thing I thought. I was like, what is that? What are you talking about? I thought Metcalf was like the fastest thing in the fucking world. Besides that, they brought back Paul Richardson, dude. He's back with the team. He's very reliable. Very reliable for Russell. I think he was targeted like 80 times his last season there. So I mean, that's a significant amount of targets, and I wouldn't be surprised with how reliable he is for Russell Wilson that maybe he is that 3rd wide receiver for the team. And yeah, I always like David Moore, but I think he has a minor ankle injury, and he's probably going to be like further down the draft chart. So, or depth chart, I should say. He'll probably be like 5th.
How do you feel about Josh Gordon? They're trying to pick him back up.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. I mean, if it's so weird. I mean, we see this every year with him. Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't. What do you say about it? It's just a weird scenario for me. I just avoid it.
Yeah, I'm avoiding it too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not falling for that again.
Yeah, it's a great way to say it. I don't want to fall for the bullshit again. So, yeah. Well, going to tight end, Jacob Hollister was kind of steady last year while Will Dissly went down. But damn, if Will Dissly is not incredible value at the tight end position when he's healthy.
Yeah.
He might give you only 3 or 4 games throughout the season, but man, does he produce. He produces literally like top 3 tight end value for sure. We do have Greg Olsen, though, with a 1-year deal. And I wouldn't be surprised, man, if he's top 3 in targets.
Yeah, I could see that too.
Mm-hmm.
It's all hard to decipher what's going to happen.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So, yeah, I don't know where I was going. Parkinson, Wilson. I don't know what's gonna shake out with the tight ends because I feel like they always have some tight end like come out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers, Parkinson.
Nick Vanette in the past. Yeah.
Just random tight ends come out of nowhere.
Well, yeah. I mean, from what I'm hearing, Greg Olson could be really good with Russ. Of course, Will Dissly, we got to make sure he can stay healthy. So I think Colby Parkinson, was he not on the IR? Something happened to him. I might have to check into that, but I think something happened to him to where he might be almost out for the season or.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought I saw something like that. But what do you think about that backfield right now?
It's Carson and that's it. I don't want to.
Yeah. I just think Carlos Hyde is pretty much there for an insurance policy, you know?
Yeah.
Of course, Rashard Penny's out on PUP. Travis Homer, he was a small third down running back. I mean, barely showed anything last year. But, I mean, DJ Dallas, we're seeing some hype in training camp, so I think that'll be pretty interesting. Yeah. All in all, I mean, this team was 8th in offense. Do you think this rushing game is going to stay about the same? Or do you think they're going to take a step back?
I think it's going to stay the same. Like, they're just running down your throat that's how their coaching philosophy is, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Penny's not expected to play for a little while. I don't know. The only one I'll touch is Chris Carson, and where's he going now?
He's pretty much going like maybe in third, to tell you the truth.
Really?
Yeah, so he's right behind Austin Eckler, right in front of Todd Gurley when it comes to Fantasy Pros.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Would you rather have him or Todd Gurley?
I think I'd rather have Gurley. I don't know. Is Chris Carson, like, I feel like he's more of not a pass catcher. And Gurley will catch the ball out of the backfield. That's the only reason that I'm picking Gurley over him.
Just a PPR value?
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of stands out for sure. I think maybe that's just a slight edge I would have for that. Yeah. Yeah, my bad. I'm going to go back to Colby Parkinson. He's on the PUP right now. What is this? Broke a 5th metatarsal in his foot, suffered back in June. So he's on the PUP right now. Dude, when I just think about breaking a foot, dude, it feels weird.
That's your pinky. That's your pinky, though.
Your pinky? Like toe?
Like, yeah, the toe that's like the pinky one. I don't know. It probably hurts like hell, but it's still just a toe.
Well, shit, yeah. I mean, you got to use it to run. That's for damn sure. So,
yeah. Hopefully staying off of it.
As small as it is, yep. Mm-hmm. So, you got anything else for this team?
I don't know. Are you fading anybody?
If I'm fading anybody, it'll probably be Chris Carson, just because of his off-season injury concern. But if I have to pick him up for a running back too, I'd feel somewhat safe with it. It's kind of iffy for me. He's the only one I would fade. Tyler Lockett, I'm fine with. Maybe DK Metcalf. It all depends if Josh Gordon maybe comes through too. Maybe I would fade the wide receivers a little bit more, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah, I feel you.
What about you?
No, I agree with what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might pick up Olsen late if he's available. Like, you know where he's going? Probably like I would imagine like around 20 or something.
Yeah, dude, he's down the depth chart. I mean, not down the position rankings for sure.
Hey, man. Disley was traded out last year too, so I just don't know if I'd take him at all.
Uh-huh. Disley is my flyer, dude, because he could probably win you a league. If that man stays healthy, Greg Olson had concerns when he was in Carolina late in his career. So
Yeah.
there were times when if he wasn't a commentator for NBC or whatever it was, he was pretty much hurting. But right now, Greg Olson's going 24th. So you're looking at him being like a tight end 3, almost late tight end 2.
You would take Dawson Knox over him, wouldn't you?
Here's my reasoning: probably not, and it doesn't have anything to do with Josh. What's his name? It has nothing. Yeah, it has nothing to do with Josh Allen. Okay, so I heard on a podcast that the way that Cam would throw to Greg Olson mainly was kind of up the seam, because Greg Olson's really good at playing like the seam route, which is just basically a go route, and that's what Russell Wilson loves to throw. And we've seen Greg Olson, dude. He's been, if not Steve Smith back in the day, he was the actual target for Carolina. Mm-hmm. So if he stays healthy, if he's even a glimpse of like how he was, I mean, a few years ago in his career, we could see a guy who could probably break the top 12. Because honestly, I'm not going to touch somebody like Rob Gronkowski. Are you? What do you think about that?
Yeah, not where he's going right now, no.
Yeah. So, I mean, if I wanted to take a nice dart throw, I'd throw it on Greg Olson. Just from what I've heard. And, I mean, if they capitalize that often, I mean, you've seen Will Dissly and what he can do. But we can't rely on his health, you know. So I kind of am interested in Greg Olson in a small way.
Okay.
But yeah, it just remains to be seen. I mean, there's one. I think it was American Draft, the 16-team league, that I picked him up. Might have been him and Irv Smith, I think. So I went late with tight end. But yeah, that was my thought there. So unless you got something, dude, that kind of wraps up everything we got.
Sounds good, man.
And if you want, do you want to do a quick rankings of this division for each position?
Sure.
All right. We got Kyler Murray, Jimmy G, Jared Goff, Russell Wilson. Who are you picking first out of those QBs?
Oh, I think it's going to be Russell, Kyler, Goff, and Jimmy. How about you?
I don't want to go the same route as you, but I think I'm going to have to.
Yeah.
I like Kyler Murray, dude, but everybody's just thinking they're expecting a big season out of him, which we know what we get out of Russell Wilson, so I think I'm going to do the same route that you went. Okay. And we all know that Goff is way better than Jimmy G, and he's going to have more pass attempts for sure, maybe even 200 pass attempts more.
Yeah. I think in fantasy it's more important, like, because they're rushing quarterbacks, they get more points for running the ball too.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. All right, so for running backs, you can go for this one.
All right, cool. Well, so we got Kenyon Drake, Raheem Mostert, Chris Carson, and Cam Akers. All right. So, of course, I'm going to go Kenyon Drake, Chris Carson. I'm going to blow your mind. I'm going to go Cam Akers, which I'm sure doesn't blow your mind at all. I'm probably sure you're going to go the same, because Raheem Mostert I'll do last.
Wow, dude, I'm the same exact. Wow, we're really disagreeing tonight.
Not much to disagree on with this division, that's for sure. Maybe the wide receivers will change it up a little bit. So let's do – I think we have an idea who's going to go first, but let's do top 8 wide receivers in this division. How about that? We'll try and pick 2, maybe even 3 from one team. So All right, I'll say DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Kirk, Larry Fitzgerald are the top 3 for Arizona. Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf. We could throw Josh Gordon in there for Seattle. I don't know who the hell you want from San Fran. So you might not even pick anybody. But Brandon Ayuk, Debo Samuel, Kendrick Bourne. I'll even throw Dante Pettis in there. Where we got, of course, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Josh Reynolds, and Van Jefferson in Los Angeles.
How do you want to do this? You want me to rank them all?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I'll probably do Nuke Hopkins first.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll go Robert Woods.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And then I'm going to go Tyler Lockett, and then back-to-back DK.
Okay.
And then I'll go Cooper Kupp, and then Christian Kirk, and then Debo, then Ayuk.
All right. I can dig that. I'm a little bit, once you hit that like 3 to 5 range, it might be a little bit different than you. So I did DeAndre Hopkins, and then I would do Robert Woods. Then I'll do Tyler Lockett and switch it up back to Cooper Kupp, DK Metcalf, and Christian Kirk for sure after that. See, I don't know if I want to touch Debo Samuel at all. Sounds weird, but yeah, you know what? I'll go probably the ending route like you did, like Brandon Ayuk and then Debo Samuel. It's just hard to see Debo Samuel come back, dude, after breaking his foot. I mean, I want optimism for sure for all these players when they get injured. But dude, what was it, like early June, late June that he got injured with that? Something like that?
I don't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah, that was crazy.
We should be back like mid-season though. You think so or no?
Well, they're still not counting him out for week 1. I mean, week 4 I'm okay with, but like week 1, dude, that's way too much. But
true.
Yeah. All right, let's do a quick rendition to tight end. We got George Kittle, San Fran, Dan Arnold with the Arizona Cardinals, Greg Olsen, of course, and Will Dissly in Seattle, and then Tyler Higbee and Gerald Everett.
All right, you want to do this one?
All right, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll start it off. Kittle, of course. I mean, I'll go Tyler Higbee next. But tell you the truth, I'll probably go Greg Olsen. Then I'll go Gerald Everett. So I'm not going to do anything in Arizona with Dan Arnold or not. Although, dude, there's a good chance that guy can fucking flourish for sure.
Yep. I think I'm going to go Kittle, Olsen.
Oh, shit.
And then Higbee, Everett, and then Arnold.
Damn, all right. I like that. Fucking like that a lot, dude.
I don't know. I'm fading Higbee.
Are you?
Yeah.
Damn, dude, I didn't know you were going to fade him that much. It's kind of, to me, if you, like, I mean, it's probably been talked about within the whole industry. Like, if it's not the first top 3 to 4 tight ends, you're going to wait till the later rounds. Because except for one league, I've never touched, keep saying it like that. I haven't picked up somebody like Darren Waller, Evan Ingram, Hunter Henry, like you said, Tyler Higbee. Never, I mean, Hayden Hurst, I have him in one league, and I only got him in, what was it? I can't remember the league I was in. One of those leagues. But Jared Cook, I'm kind of fading him too. And like I said earlier, Rob Gronkowski. What's your thoughts on Austin Hooper?
I'm fading him too.
Yeah.
I just don't like people I don't like teammates or whatever. players that are switching teams.
Yeah. I figured that and like the amount of targets that can be dispersed throughout the team, you know.
Yeah, and the joke is still there too. Like, I don't know. I don't like it.
But,
At least there's no other tight end. Like, he basically took Hooper's role.
Well, tight end wise, I mean, I want to pick a guy from a team that could be the top 2 or 3 target. Like, we're talking about guys like Travis Kelce, George Kittle, Mark Andrews, who's probably the number 1 target sometimes.
Yeah.
Zach Ertz, Darren Waller could be. Evan Ingram, like, for him, I just don't trust his health for right now.
Yeah.
Hunter Henry could be top 2, maybe 3, possibly. But I just don't like, you know, why am I drawing a blank for the
Tyrod Taylor?
Yeah, Tyrod Taylor. Like you said earlier, Higbee is just somebody we're both kind of fading. Hayden Hurst, I can see it, but I don't think I want to pay up for him right around in that area.
Yeah, that's too much.
And then Jared Cook is kind of tough with Emmanuel Sanders probably taking targets. Gronk, we all know how that Tampa Bay offense is right now. Same with Cleveland with Austin Hooper. Gesicki, I haven't picked him up in any leagues, but I kind of like him. I'm all right with that. But I'd rather pick up somebody like Johnny Smith. That's for sure. Or maybe T.J. Hawkinson.
I didn't know Hawkinson was going so late. I'd definitely take him there.
Yeah. Yep.
And if you see today that Ertz is having like contract disputes with the Eagles.
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised, man, because the way I see the Eagles doing it is he's 29 now. So he's probably going to want to look to see like get Travis Kelce money, and they won't be able to afford anything for next year.
Yeah, they got Goddard, so.
Yeah. So they got Goddard too, which last year we saw they both were neck and neck in targets. I wouldn't be surprised if they drafted a tight end too, to tell you the truth. Because I like 2 or 3 of the tight ends coming out next year. Like you just said too, Chris Herndon, man. I like him. Irv Smith. And like we were talking about, Will Dissly or maybe even Greg Olsen for sure.
Doyle.
Yeah, Jack Doyle too, dude. I mean, you've seen what Phillip Rivers did with Hunter Henry in the past. So tight end is much more like valuable this year than it has been in the past few years for sure. Much more valuable. So I mean, like you can definitely, if you take one tight end, you can definitely stream later on. Or if you want to wait on tight end, take a flyer like Irv Smith, see what he does within the first 3 weeks. And if he doesn't do anything, there's going to be at least a handful of tight ends that you could stream for sure. So that's kind of the way I like to see it.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. This is a good pod, dude. We got to take some shots when you get out of here just to wake us up for the next pod. Right. What time was it? It's 7:30 now, so maybe around 8:30 we'll be doing another one. So that's what's up, dude.
Go all night.
Yeah. All night and then Call of Duty later. That's what's up. All right, cool, man. Well, good deal. For me, I'm Gary at Gars_Poetica. And Dan, what was yours?
D Webster 341 on Twitter.
Oh yeah. Well, cool. We'll catch you guys on the next one. This was the NFC West, and we'll be giving you the NFC South in about 1 hour. All right, cool.